Welcome back everyone to another Girl Power Day 0 build. This time we're going over Mount Lady 3. Uh, this is one I didn't quite expect because we just got another Mount Lady, but I'm excited to see what we can do with her. She is a 6 hand size 29 health character. She has Lurkers and Pro Heroes as her character traits. Her symbols are Chaos, Earth, and Order, and for this build I decided to go with Order. Honestly couldn't tell you why. I think, honestly, I built all 20 of these over the course of 3 nights while I was on vacation. So, these are almost as new to me as they are to you. So let's dive into it and see what I was thinking at the time. She has an enhance ability. Reveal 1 momentum. Your non-throw attack gets powerful X. X equals the number of keywords on the revealed card. So this includes keyword traits and keyword abilities, and can lead to some pretty hefty damage dealing attacks. And then she has a response, commit, so turn her sideways. After you block an attack, add the top card of your deck to your momentum. Your rival's next attack gets -1 damage for each of your momentum. So that is a really cool defensive ability, because you can basically say, I'm going to turn off 1 attack per turn, or mostly turn off 1 attack per turn, similar to Amajiki, but almost less interactable, because while your rival can, flip your momentum or discard your momentum during the enhanced step before you can use your ability, she activates as a responsibility on block and affects the next attack. So it's kind of a little bit harder to interact with, and it's netting you free momentum, so that's always pretty good. So let's see what we got in our attack lineup. We have Butte Basher. It's a 6 low 4. It's got Deflect 2, so that again helps make the most of our 29 health, reducing damage after the block step but before the damage step. And it can flip rival foundations. It forces them to flip 1 or 2, depending on if they have 8 or more foundations. They do get to choose, but it's removing 2 resources from their options, which is pretty good. And it's got 3 keywords here. I think everything has at least 3 keywords. Yeah. Next up we have Gargantuan Grapple. Just do it this way then. Okay, we have some technical difficulties. Gargantuan Grapple. I know what it does. Here we go. This is a throw, so you cannot boost it with your ability, but you can spend a momentum to increase one of its attack's keyword ratings by 2 after you play it. So you can play it as a block, which is a 2 high block, and spend a momentum to make this breaker 2 instead of breaker 0. Or if you play it as an attack, you can spend a momentum to give this stun 2 instead of stun 0. Interesting use of momentum, and just a 2 high block with breaker 2 is solid, especially since you're netting free momentum on block anyway. This does say after this card is played. This says after you block an attack. I believe these activate in the same vein, in the same time. So you block, commit to get a momentum. Your rival's next attack gets -1 damage for each of your momentum. In that same window, you can spend a momentum to increase this card's breaker rating, and then activate your breaker 2. I believe that all happens at the same time. If not, please correct me in the comments. If you know for a fact that these don't activate in the same window. Next up we have our Ultra Mesa Mallet. So we've got Butte Basher, Gargantuan Grapple, Mesa Mallet. This one says after you spend 1 or more momentum during this attack, your rival commits a card in their stage. I know it doesn't say during this attack, but it's a response and not a response card pool, which thankfully, because this card would be dumb. This can also commit your rival's assets and character if they don't have any foundations ready. It's got Breaker, it's got EX2, and it has an enhance that says if you revealed a card as a cost this turn, you get to net another free momentum from the top of your deck. 5 keywords on this card means if you reveal it, you can give a card powerful 5, which if you know your rival's not going to block anything, powerful 5 is really, really good. Oh, this is why we did this on order. We have Patchwork Baby. This gets speed equal to the highest keyword rating played this turn. If we reveal Mesa Mallet to give it powerful 5, we can then activate our powerful 5, and then give it 5 speed on top of that to make it a 8 mid for whatever we want. And it gets +1 damage for each different keyword in your card pool, so giving itself 4 damage. If you have Butte Basher, that's an extra 2 damage, or Gargantuan Grapple, I'm sorry, for the breaker and the throw. Butte Basher can give you the Fury, Slam, and Deflect keywords, so these two can give you 7? Yeah, and then it has EX, so if you did Mesa Mallet, it would be, again, it'd be 8. It'd be 8 damage right there. So just stacking a lot of damage on Patchwork Baby while threatening big damage from your powerful attacks. So if you play, say you have Mesa Mallet in your momentum and you play a Butte Basher, give it powerful 5, your rival's really going to want to block this. So then if you can lean into a Patchwork Baby after you force them to block a very fast, very high damage move, and then stack even more damage and speed on this card, it could really mess your rival up if they're not expecting it. Then we've got Heartbeat Surround. It says when it's in your card pool, your rival commits a foundation after your charge attack deals damage. Mason Mallet's a charge, itself is a charge, and Flying Dragon Tackle is a charge. So I think it's mainly in here for the 3 keywords and the fact that it gives +1 damage to your next attack for each of its keywords. So Mesa Mallet can get +5 damage, Gargantuan Grapple can get +3, Patchwork Baby can start with an additional +4 damage. So just stacking more damage onto your next thing. And it's got Deadlock Stun too, so some decent Deadlock threats if your rival's trying to outbuild you in order to outpace you. And lastly, for our attacks, we have Flying Dragon Tackle. This has 3 keywords, and it says if it's blocked, your rival flips a foundation. If it's not blocked, your rival commits it. You get to selectively commit one rival foundation. And if it deals damage, draw a card. So this is another attack you want to use as like an opener or maybe a middle ranged attack to try to force your rival to commit a bunch of foundations to block it, so that you don't get to selectively commit a foundation and draw a card. So kind of using this as a threat, especially if you put powerful on it, to make your rival deal with this maybe after a Gargantuan Grapple or a Butte Basher. So 6 low 4, then a 4 high 5, and then end it with like a Patchwork Baby for 8 mid a billion. So that could be your lines there. Just all about adding a bunch of damage to your high number of keyword moves, which is really cool. I kind of like that design space of wanting more cards that do different things because you're caring about multiple different types of keywords. Moving on to our assets, we have It Unbox. Again, one of my favorite defensive pieces in the game. Returns things to printed stats, works on offense and defense, and it can make unblockable things blockable. And then we've got Team Dr. Ichigaki. This is an asset that's been picking up a lot of play lately. It is a unique, so you can only have one of it in your stage at a time, but you can remove it to cancel a non-keyword, non-character ability. This cancels enhances, responses, forms, anything that is activated that is not a keyword ability and not a character ability, but that can stop things like Falling Skies gaining throw. I believe it gains throw. Yeah, or gaining the +1/+1. It can stop the enhance on Twisting Azure to give your checks -1 and your rival's checks +1, so you can cancel that. It's just a really good cancel card, which has been seeing a lot of pick up and play lately, so I thought I'd add it here. Onto our actions, we have Genkai's Guidance. This is good to get cards out of your rival's hand when you're going in for a kill turn, or you can destroy 3 foundations to tell your rival that attack doesn't count this turn. Just remove it. You're not going to touch me with that. It's over. We have The Future Is Now. This is really cool because we do have a lot of high difficulty moves. So being able to play, Butte Basher or Mesa Mallet into Flying Dragon Tackle. Into Future is now on a 5. Our next attack gets 2 speed, 2 damage, and ignores progressive difficulty. So throw that on your Patchwork Baby, make it a 5 mid 3 that ignores progressive difficulty, and gains a bunch more stats on top of that to guarantee that this connects and finishes your rival for good. And then lastly, we have Showdown, which is just one of the best blocks in the game right now. A lot of attacks are high, so you want to block with it, commit 2 rival foundations on their turn, so they have less to defend themselves with going into your turn. Or, it's a commit 2 foundations to cancel an action card, which you can cancel other Showdowns, you can cancel Genkai's Guidance, you can cancel Runaway, which I've seen picking up in play because a lot of these 4 damage moves can get boosted to High Holy Heaven. And just saying, run away, I'll take 4, and I'll stuff your card pool, is really good. So Showdown being able to cancel that, especially, like I said, when we're playing a bunch of high difficulty attacks, is really solid and really helpful. On to Foundations. We have Juice Box Hero. We can spend a momentum to give an attack +1 damage for each of its keywords. We like running a bunch of keyword salad attacks, so that's some pretty good damage for spending a momentum. Momentum that we get for free once every rival's turn just for blocking an attack. And then Enhanced Flip, if your rival has 8 or more foundations, draw a card. It's just free card draw. We have Assessing All for One's Motives, which says if a card leaves our momentum due to a rival effect, we add the top card of our deck to our momentum. It's pseudo-momentum protection, at least on the order symbol. It's just guaranteeing that you will always be left to the status quo, as long as your rival's making you lose 1 momentum anyway. Interview Specialty. This is a great way to put speed on all of our attacks just for revealing a card this enhanced step. So we want to get as many of these in our stage as possible. Reveal 1, get 2, 3, 4 speed on top of our powerful 5, hopefully, if we can get Mesa Mallet into the momentum. So that's really, really good. Then we have Strategic Meeting. This can flip to reveal the top card of our deck. We may add it to our momentum, or if it has 3 or more keywords, add it to our hand. So it's either get a momentum, keep it on top if it's just a good foundation check, or add it to our hand if it's an attack. Really great. So just depending on what you need, this card can do it all. We've got Pure Dedication. We lose a health as a response after we reveal a card as a cost, reveal the top card of our deck. So this is showing our card, getting our powerful, lose a health, check the top card of our deck just to see what kind of check we're going to have coming up next. We can then choose to maybe draw with Juice Box Hero or Strategic Meeting if we guarantee know we want that card. Or when we Botan's coaching, we know what we're going to be drawing. America's #1 Hero. This is a really tricky new foundation that's coming out in Girl Power. You can flip it as a first enhance to discard a card. Your rival's not allowed to block with that type of card during this attack. So if you know your rival's got a bunch of foundations in hand, you flip this, discard a foundation. This attack can't be blocked by foundations. If that's all you got, this card's now unblockable, which is dope. And then it has a Pro Hero enhance, where we are a Pro Hero. You can make an attack lose a keyword trait and gain a keyword trait of your choice. So Patchwork Baby doesn't say printed, so I think if we took away something that we already had, like say we have 2 slams in our card pool, we can make one lose slam and gain taunt, and then that counts towards Patchwork Baby, which is pretty cool. Or we can mess with our rivals' tribal decks if they're playing tribal weapons, tribal charge. Be like, hey, you lose that keyword that you absolutely need, and you're going to gain something completely worthless to you, and just kind of screw up what they want to do for their for that attack. Childlike Appearance is great speed hate at the cost of a momentum, which we're going to be getting for free every turn on our rival's turn. And if we block the attack, we get to commit a rival foundation, less things they get to defend with on our turn. Botan's Coaching is just great draw, great card filter. You can rip up your opponent's hand a little bit. Maybe they don't draw the block zone they need. New #1 is good for if our rival is hating on our speed. We can reset it to printed, give it +1, or we can set our rival's speed to printed and give it -1. And as we are a Pro Hero, once per turn we can mill 2 to unseal a card in our stage. So if our rival has sealed something, we can say, nope, we're going to unseal that. and really try to mess with our rivals' things. We have elasticity, which is good defensively or offensively. After an attack is blocked, the next attack is +3 or -3 damage. And then after our rival plays a stun ability, we can cancel it and get the top card of our deck to our momentum. We want a lot of momentum. We don't want to be stunned. So this is just an obvious, really good card, either way you want to play it. Foresight is just a spam. It's a low block. And after we play it, we can look at the top card of our deck. And then we can remove it from our stage to reveal the top card of either player's deck, either seeing how much speed we need to put on something to mess with our rival's checks, or to see if we're going to be checking good on our next check. Sense of Justice, again, it's just great into these mono keyword type decks like Charge, Weapon, Slam, Punch, Kick. And I think a lot of decks are going to be more tribal going into Girl Power. You have a lot of Charge support stuff, some new Kick support stuff that's going to make waves. So being able to give +X or -X speed or damage, or -X speed or -X damage, equal to the number of cards in your rival's card pool with that keyword on it, every turn is really, really solid. Can't Escape Me, practically free draws everywhere, so this just says your rival doesn't get to draw that. And Deadlock in hands, your attack gets 1 speed for each of your rival's committed foundations. So that's really solid, especially if you're trying to push a really big attack late game. And lastly, Ice Gliding, because plus speed, minus speed. If the card is blocked, the next attack gets plus speed or minus speed. It's just always going to be a good card, good spam to have, especially, like I said, when we're trying to push these powerful 4, powerful 5 attacks through. And that is Mount Lady 3. I think it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The only thing is which attacks with which keywords do you want to run, and how are we getting Mesa Mallet into our momentum aside from just having it deal damage or lucking into it with her ability. Unfortunately, on order, I don't think there's any way to just pick a card and put it into your momentum. I know Chaos has a lot of that, but Patchwork Baby doesn't have Chaos, and I think I wanted, after seeing Patchwork Baby and all of this deck, I think I wanted this to be the dunk of the deck, because your rival's going to be looking for Mesa Mallet, but if you can trick them and then throw a Patchwork Baby at them when they're not expecting something like that, maybe they commit out to try to block one of these bigger attacks, and then you just sneak in a Patchwork Baby for lethal anyway. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys have any ideas for Mount Lady 3. Do you think Chaos is her better symbol? I'm kind of leaning towards it, but I have to look at some other attacks as to what we have available to us. But I do think Order has some legs. I think I just need to tweak it a little bit and maybe figure out more ways to just steal free momentum. But with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've got many more Girl Power Day 0 builds to give you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.